The Defence Secretary Liam Fox has tonight admitted his contact with his former flatmate Adam Werritty may have given an impression of wrongdoing. It came on a day Labour increased its pressure about Dr Fox's dealings with Mr Werritty. More details on the statement that's just emerged in a moment, but first Katie Razzle reports on the day's developments.
The trip to Libya is now over. The flak falling on the Defence Secretary most certainly isn't. Liam Fox returned to damaging headlines about his position. He told the Sunday Telegraph he believes the motivation behind the claims is deeply suspect. The allegations concern his association with a friend, Adam Werritty, best man at his wedding, but seemingly involved professionally too, appearing at Dr Fox's side on some of his travels. The Labour Party says Dr Fox hasn't been forthcoming enough about their links.
It's a self-inflicted political crisis for Liam Fox. That's why we need full disclosure, full openness, and why he must come to the House of Commons tomorrow and make a full statement. If he refuses to make a statement in the House of Commons, I'll seek to summon him and force him to answer questions in Parliament.
Dr Fox's meetings with the President of Sri Lanka were always controversial. Mr Rajapaksa, remember, has unanswered questions about how 40,000 civilians died during the final stages of civil war in 2009. But now the attendance at private encounters of Adam Werritty is thrown into the mix. Other allegations involve a meeting in June in Dubai between Dr Fox, Adam Werritty and 3 businessmen from a private equity company. We've been in touch with one of the men at that meeting, Harvey Bolter. He told us his original introduction to Adam Werritty came from a company based in this office in central London, Tetra Strategy. He says he then met Mr Werritty, who he claims offered to speak to the boss on the company's behalf. Harvey Bolter told us that Mr Werritty set up the meeting with Dr Fox in June. He says he gave him his business card. He told me he was an advisor to Dr Fox. I assumed an MOD advisor, and his card said as much. Mr Bolter said most certainly highly sensitive information was discussed. Dr Fox stayed at the Address Hotel in Dubai, not the embassy. He was on a stopover on his way from visiting British troops in Afghanistan. The MOD told Channel 4 News it paid for the room because Dr Fox was there on official business, but that the meeting in question was private. That isn't enough for John Mann, the Labour MP calling for his resignation. He asked a parliamentary question last month about how often Mr Werritty had travelled with the Defence Secretary. Dr Fox replied,
Mr Werritty is not an employee of the Ministry of Defence and has therefore not travelled with me on any official overseas visits.
John Mann claims this is deliberately misleading. Other MPs disagree.
Dr Fox is a man, in my view, of great integrity and a huge amount of honour, and I'm standing by him, and I very much hope the Prime Minister will as well.
Tonight, the Shadow Defence Secretary Jim Murphy has written to the Prime Minister requesting an independent investigation instead of the one being carried out by the MOD's Permanent Secretary. This is about whether Dr Fox broke the ministerial code which calls for utmost propriety. Labour claims the code states it's the remit of the independent adviser on ministers' interests. All eyes now on Parliament tomorrow, where Dr Fox is due for defence questions.
And Katie Razzle is here now, and he's just issued this statement. What's he saying?
Well, he has, Chris. We haven't heard anything from Liam Fox all day, but just within the last few minutes, he made this concession. He said his frequent contact with his former flatmate, Adam Werritty, may have given an impression of wrongdoing. And he said it was a mistake to allow distinctions to be blurred between my professional responsibilities and my personal loyalties to a friend. Now, whether that's going to be enough for Labour to call off their demands for this independent investigation, we'll have to wait and see. They want answers to a lot of questions, and clearly at this point, the statement hasn't given those answers.